Greetings, everyone, once again, and welcome to the next edition of our Ascension Minutes. Please go back and watch the last two, the first couple that I did, and learn what is being shared there. Each one of these Ascension Minutes segments focuses on one issue and how to move through it, what it's about, and how to move through it, to bring you the ability to move through your own personal and our global awakening and ascension with grace and ease. So let's get started today. Today's Ascension Minutes, the focus is on Armageddon. We're going to look at what Armageddon is, and we're going to basically both the global concept of Armageddon and your personal Armageddon, because we are all going through our own Armageddon. We're going to take the fear factor out of that, all right? That's part of my job. You know, part of the awakening is to let go of fear. We have Team Dark, the Cabal, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it. It is certainly not working in our favor or to help us. That is trying to keep control. Keep that control grid not, locked down and prevent it from being dismantled, which is what's happening right now. So every time we go into fear, we feed the beast. My job is to help you see that what they're feeding you, that is bringing you fear, is their own, is a narrative crafted to support their own purposes, which is to feed off of the beautiful, wonderful, loose fear energy that's created every time you go into fear. That all just pours out of us, and they are just like soaking it up, like, sitting on the beach of Miami. And the further we awaken and the more open to seeing, perceiving truth we get, the less impact that fear-mongering and their attempts to create fear in us actually has. That's another side effect. That's something else that is actually causing the attempts to intensify the issues and the goings on, whether it is one or two big things or whether it's a whole bunch of little things that are trying to niggle away at us and bring fear. One of which right now is the coronavirus. And at the end of this video, I will, or sometime during this video, I will put for you a link in the video itself and down below to a Chrysalis video that I did about the coronavirus. It was I called the 40,000 foot reading. And along with that, I am linking it also to a video about how there is a huge love tsunami coming through that is going to collapse the control matrix. And I do that because they're working together. All right, this is all working together in one great big orchestrated, divinely orchestrated process and program. Once you get to the point where you get high enough that you can actually look at how all of these things are coordinating and working together, it's quite amazing. And you can't really have a whole lot of fear when you see how this is all working. A lot of us have been saying for a long time, light wins or light has already won. Well, it's true. And Team Dark knows it. But of course, they're not going to give up. It's their very existence that they're fighting for. Just like, you or I would do. But their method of existence is not supported here. And we're saying, no, you want to come in this door with us in 5D on New Earth? Your poop is not going to stick. We're not doing that. So when we talk about today Armageddon, let's first talk about the meaning of Armageddon. All right. Armageddon is a word that means rebirth or cleansing. Now, the movies and religious scholars, and I'm sorry, but there are a lot of people that have just dug into this fear thing like crazy. And the revelations in the Bible interpreted things in a way that made it so fearful, like, oh my God, the world is really ending. We're going to cease to exist and it's gone. No, not even. The rebirth, the renewal, the cleansing that is going on has been happening at many levels for a while. If you go by revelations in the Bible and you look at the 4 horsemen, and for the life of me, I can only remember 3. We've got fear, pestilence, war, famine. I remembered all 4. I think fear is one of them. Okay. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Well, they have been trashing through our gardens and landscapes for a long time on this planet. And they aren't just horsemen right now, they're armies, right? They're the 4 armies of the apocalypse. And what that ushered in was for humanity at a soul level to say, all right, enough. I put up with this crap for way too long. Let you get away with this crap. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I've had it up to here. Not doing this. It's time for this to end. And as is the case, anytime we get to the place where our souls have said, poof, enough, we have risen up in the light. We have found ways to come together, found ways to communicate, to share truth, to share what's really going on, so that we can, to buoy each other up so that we stay out of fear as much as is possible. Now, there's also, and when we're talking about, one of the biggest of these things, as we know, is the internet. And the use of the internet and the ways we are using it now, are only about 30 years old. And we have come a long way, baby, in 30 years, being able to communicate globally with each other and say, oh, wait a minute, that's not what I was told. So that's part of where, we've got the Armageddon things going on. We got the 4 horsemen going on. That's been ongoing for a while, but we have finally come up and said, no, we're not doing that anymore. So what does this involve? Right? We have this cleansing element of Armageddon or apocalypse that kind of sweeps things away that don't belong, that don't apply, that aren't purified and in service to our well-being and our light and our truth and love. There's that purification, that cleansing. There is the rebirth that happens, just like the fires in Australia that have ravaged Australia. So you see pictures on the internet coming up now of all of the new growth that is just bursting out in those forests. This is happening globally, right? This is not, and it's both environmentally with the planet, the cleansing, and the rebirth occurring, because it is. You may not be getting a lot of reports of it. You may not be seeing it, and there may be some environmentalists with agendas that are kind of hiding some of these things, but trust me, they're taking place. And as we get more fully into our own ascension, and once we are fully embedded in the 5D reality, living as a 5D reality in the alchemical realms of causation, trust me, this planet and its environment are going to have a revolution unlike anyone has ever seen. It is going to be absolutely mind-boggling to see. And my team has shown you this. It is, you talk about magic, you have no idea what we're looking forward to in the years to come. So we have this global Armageddon going on, the end times that everybody has been gnashing their teeth and wringing, their colossus, like their prayer colossus, like, oh my God, it's ending. No, please. What's ending is our imprisonment. That's what's happening. Our imprisonment is ending, being trashed. The prison walls and bars and locks are being torn away, broken down, demolished. That's what's happening. Unfortunately, we have become so used to living in that prison and not knowing anything else that there is a huge fear of, this is all I know. Wait a minute, don't take this from me. What are you going to bring me? How is it going to happen? Where are we? What's going on? How am I going to survive? I don't know what's outside those walls. And that's where the fear comes from. But we have been working for a long time, since the 60s or before. The hippie generation and the flower children weren't just a passing phase. They were like the implementation of phase 1, or maybe a little bit more than maybe phase 2, but we'll stick with phase 1 for these purposes, of the Great Awakening. The introduction of love as a philosophy globally, and light, and reaching for the things beyond ourselves that hold that light and can guide us and give us guidance and information, to help us, direct us into different places, to bring healing to us. We've been working at this for a long time, and that's why, while we were still embedded in these prisons, inside these walls, under all of these controls. One of the most important things that the awakening and the ascension commands and demands from us is unwavering faith and trust in the divine captain of this ship and each one of our ships, and where it's taking us, and trusting that it's taking us where our souls desire us to be. Because our souls literally are the captains of our ships. Oof, getting a big yes on that. You see my neck moving. The souls are the captains of our ships. So you have to have faith in that burning light of divine presence that is inside you, that is your truth. We have to have faith in that and have trust in that, and in the love that is contained there, that it is. So while we are connected to all of this, into our souls, into our light, all of this can fall down all around us, and we can accept it as, yep, this is what's got to happen. What do you got next for me? Show me the path. Show me the way forward. This is exciting. Let's see what's next. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have to deal with fallout, that you aren't going to have your own disruption and dismantling and crumbling apart of things, that you're not going to see parts of your life just go, boom, out of here. But you have to trust that the universe is rearranging things for you to make things better. You know, I just had somebody that I know from Facebook, a wonderful woman, talk to me about how she had all of these financial worries because of different things going on in her life. And they had come to a point where they were at their wits' end. They had reached the end of the road of how they were going to deal with this, to pay the bills and move on. And she wrote to me to tell me about how the universe and her soul in concert with, you know, her divine team and her family's divine team had rearranged all the pieces on the board and configured them so that, boom, every problem that she had was going to be taken care of. Just one by one by one, all of these things just fell into place. And our financial issues are solved. She's good. The family's good. And you know, you have to see that. And there have been times, I can't tell you how many times I have gone into fear about things, fear about who I am and what I'm doing. Am I really helping people? What's going on? Am I any good at this? Am I really supposed to be doing this? Should I just say screw it and go out and get a job somewhere? Of course, I already knew that wasn't going to work because I've been there, done that with that. And every time I would get into that place, my team would sit back and they would remind me, one after another, after another, after another, of the successes that I had had and the people who were so happy they had found me and who just had such love for me and were helped by me so immensely. and all of the little not just people, but things, you know, around me that sort of came in, and the little miracles that happened all the time. And your teams will do the same for you if you're open to looking at it that way. And if you get buried down into the fear and all of the rubble at ground level that you have to deal with, then you're going to miss seeing what's being arranged for you. So, you know, that Armageddon, we think of Armageddon as all that rubble, and it really isn't. Armageddon is all this. Armageddon is something that we should be celebrating to the rooftops, because it's our freedom. It's our freedom to be who we are without being controlled by beings and individuals and forces that want to feed off of our energies and our output and take our power. And we're being freed from that. That's what Armageddon is freedom. That's what we're in this for. That's what the prize is at the end of all of this. And I'm not telling you that some of the things that have to happen, that have to fall down and off the wayside, are not going to be painful for you. Sure they are. They're painful as heck for me. But having that higher view from which, even though I had to deal with the rubble and the cleaning it up and getting through it at ground level, that higher view kept me moving forward, kept me from crawling into a corner in a fetal ball somewhere and giving up, kept me in faith that everything was moving according to a plan, and I just had to push through and deal with what I was given it in every moment to deal with, to celebrate the victories and the miracles that came to me through it. That's what we're doing here. We're working for freedom. And everything, there is this divine ballet going on, and dance. You know, everything's fitting together and coming back and in. All of this is happening if you're looking for it. You can see it. You can see how one thing over here and another thing over here are either coming together to work together, or one is canceling the other out and taking it out of the picture and making room for new, light-filled, love-filled things to come in that support us and support our freedom. So I hope that you can understand that. My job is to help you stay out of fear with all of this by helping you understand the higher purpose that's being served in everything that we've got to deal with as crap falls apart. As all of the control mechanisms and the prison mechanisms come crumbling down and fall apart, both personally and globally, because it's going to happen, it has to. As all of that comes tumbling down, for us to remain attached to the knowledge that this is all serving that higher purpose of life and love and freedom and soul expression for each and every one of us and for the planet. I am so excited for what's going to come to this planet. It just boggles my mind. If I sit and think about it for a few minutes, I just go like, I can't wait. Wow. You know, this is wonderful. This is so awesome. And maybe if I have helped you for just a minute to get into that place, then I've done my job today. I'm getting my angels are saying, I'm getting this big loving embrace here with this. I love my team. And I would ask you to close your eyes for just a moment and take a deep breath in through your nose, blow it out through your mouth. And I'm asking the angels of awakening now to connect you with that place where you can see and know and understand how this is all coming together. And you can be detached from the fear that is trying to be created so that you are released from feeding the beast. Thank you, team. And thank all of you. Please watch the 2 videos that I have hooked together at the end of this video. And so that you can see how these things, 2 things are counterbalancing each other and what's happening, how it looks horrible over here, but over here we have the cleansing agent coming through. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that I have brought you some peace, released some fear, and helped you to move into a better place regarding everything that's happening around us as we move through our global and our each of our own personal Armageddon periods, and to keep our eye on the prize and know that freedom is the goal and is the end game and the outcome for each one of us and for the planet. Thank you, and I love you. Till next time.